Close the lid, let's go.
Okay, it being 7 o'clock, we'll pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Motion to approve the minutes of the June 14th meeting.
Make a motion.
It was just me and you, Brent?
Yes, it was.
And I'll second it. Jonathan? That's the, oh, you can't sign it, sorry. Okay. Motion to approve the July docket and the allowance docket.
Well, there's, it's got approved
And
by
you want to
God
approve
too.
Buckeye all at the same time?
Yeah, Buckeye is on here. I need to know whether you guys want to go ahead or what your thoughts were with Buckeye.
This is their last year, but they gave us a 3-year contract, and this is the last year.
I thought I signed one in there for $535 on the dollar.
It was in the claims, but are you guys in agreement that we're doing Buckeye?
Yeah,
Okay.
one more year, right?
One more year.
Okay.
Well, how long, if we, is there any stipulation, how much notice we have to give them if we decide to cancel?
It says a 3-year contract.
No,
Up to
uh-uh.
a 3 year.
It's a
No, you
agreement.
can, it's a 1-year contract, they'll honor that price for 3 years.
Yeah. But on the 3rd year, they do more than they do on any other year, right?
If you paid for it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
If you pay for it, but
So do we need to make a note, we need to just, 1 month to discuss it? When will it come up again?
This actually expired
in June.
June 1, so it is expired now. So if you want to be talking about it next year, you probably need to start about January or February, particularly if you want to be looking at other companies to give time to research who you might be interested in.
You know, I'll make a motion to go ahead and pay him for this.
Buckeye for this year.
Okay.
Second, I'll go along and second the motion to approve July docket allowance.
Okay.
Approve by
And then
Kyle, same
you
time.
want a notation then that January, February, look at other,
Yes.
Yes.
After
Okay.
Christmas, January.
Yeah.
That's what I wrote down.
Get some Christmas.
and here's your allowance.
My allowance?
Your allowance docket.
You got your office last month. You sure it worked?
I don't remember. I'll need another one.
Okay, appointment Pete, or appointment reports, Pete, you wanna get it started?
just briefly, the Rail Commission did meet on the 29th over in Florida. And of course, we just discussed the status of the Jeep project. Since they were here on the 9th, I guess it was, especially after the 4th of July, they've got a lot going on related to the site engineering. Now, their goal is to have the site engineering wrapped up within this month. I don't know if the weather's helping any. That's just the site engineering. They mainly need to find out for sure where the building's going to be situated out there and where the rail's going to be situated on the, once they do the civil engineering work out there. Then they got the buildings they hope to get that design work done during, August and September, and hopefully the game plan was to be ready to move dirt by early October. I know they're meeting, Andy will probably report up, I know they're meeting here with you guys on Friday.
I haven't heard.
Yeah.
Friday to discuss the possibility on an extension. They have a full day, almost a full day, private, a planning session, construction planning session, bringing in about 20 people anyway. over in Florida on Tuesday to coordinate all the planning on the construction. So the general contractors are coming, the people doing the site engineering, the railroad. I'm not sure who all they're gonna have there. They've asked Ken to sit on that, and he's agreed to be there to be a resource for them. So, anyway, I know a lot more after that meeting, I think, as to what their game plan is for pulling this all together. But, so that's all I can tell you on that. I just know there's a lot going on it. The other issue at the Rail Commission was addressing this. We received a letter actually back on April 25th from the County Economic Development Corporation. We've had a MOU, a working agreement with those folks for the last 4 years, and they just basically sent us a letter that officially notifies their plan to terminate the agreement, and had a 120-day termination, so it'll actually terminate on August the 23rd. The letter also we got from them indicated they were going to discontinue their funding for the Rail Commission for the last half of the year until a new agreement's put in place. So anyway, the Rail Commission responded and indicated we were willing to sit down and listen to whatever it is they want. We don't know what precipitated the letter, but we suggested yesterday and today as days to meet, and they replied they'd like to meet with us. They'll meet with us a month from now on August the 10th, I think. So I think that's when we'll be hearing what it is that they want. I guess the only thing I would add to that is, I think the feeling of the commission is, we still hope it's something mutually satisfactory can be worked out with those folks, continue working with them, but we're definitely committed to continue doing what we can to assist and attract, bringing additional rail served industry into central part of the county, and create some more jobs and some more tax base, and attract some more small businesses to start. And I hope we're doing that with them, but we're definitely going to be doing it one way or the other.
Okay, thanks, Pete. Jared?
don't have a lot. I did have a sanitary plug up, Tuesday evening. I got notified by a customer that they had somebody in trying to clean out their sewer, and after further investigation, I found a plug in a line. At least it hadn't got out on the ground. That was a good thing. It was about 6 or 8 inches from coming out the top of the manhole. I got AccuDig in right away. Looked like it was mostly hair and some baby wipes and pieces of plastic of some sort. I don't know. Almost looked like a plastic bag in there, but where it come from, I have no idea. But I think I will probably, when Duke's Root Services in this summer, I'll probably have them coat that section of line there.
Okay.
Where are you at on your street signs for speed limit and stuff?
I've got some of them ordered. I'm going to get with the lady from Purdue, see how far out I can go, what should they recommend as far as coming in. That is supposed to be 35 mile an hour through there, according to the stop sign.
Right.
It's 30 right now, I believe, or 20. I don't remember now, but it's supposed to be,
It's 30.
I think it's supposed to be 30, it's supposed to be 35.
Yeah.
I've got the ordinance, and all other ones are supposed to be 25 in town unless otherwise posted. And they're all posted 20, so we'll just leave them at that. I'll probably just work on the street signs mainly on that road. I've got some 20s, since they've repaved that. Signs are expensive. I hate to try to replace all of them at once.
Right.
We need to go back. I got some stops in. My old ways haven't come in yet for some reason. The guy I ordered them off of, for some reason he never got them ordered, and so I ordered them. I ended up finding that out about 2 weeks ago or so. I've got them ordered.
Can
I got them in.
Since the state highway took over like 26 of our, 10 of our ADA ramps, can we flip that over to
I
signs?
don't think you can use signs on that. I'm not sure. On that grant?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. We've already got that grant turned in though.
Okay.
I mean, I can call Ken and find out, but
No biggie. No
What the
biggie.
grants turned in.
How are the trees going? Putting the trees-
he's supposed to be here Monday to work on the two up there that's had the bad spot. Well, there's several that's got bad spots in, but he's supposed to be here Monday to work on them.
Church
The way he
Street.
talked, yeah, they're at Church Street, both sides of the road, they're on Church and Washington. I'll probably wait to see what their street money looks like in the finances before we do any more, you know, see what the budget looks like, and then go from there.
I was sitting there at the house last night thinking, well, I wonder how many
Yeah.
trees we got.
I wondered that too, was you?
Pardon me?
And then,
How about the sidewalks? Where we stand on that?
They got the one poured on the highway down there, they got one little spot to finish up right there on the other side of the driveway. And then, of course, they poured the one on Water Street today, and looked like they'd worked on the north part of it.
Yeah, they got the form set on the north part, I saw.
They ended up getting the form set, I hadn't noticed.
They were working on that.
Okay.
that way,
So,
there at the parsonage, what that does is it comes off the highway and then goes back on that concrete slab. So when you put the sidewalk in, you had to stay level with the existing sidewalk that was there.
so he actually brought it up a little
Yeah.
bit, but it's still,
But Jerry told him, said, what we need is to bring some blacktop up there and push the water back out on the
keep it,
street.
because what it's doing is running over into this, onto that sidewalk,
And then
towards the Baptist parsonage, and you can see where it's getting between that wall and the house, and you can see it's bowed out, and what's happening is the water's getting down in there in the wintertime, and then it's freezing and thawing, and it's pushed it out that far. You're gonna lose that whole corner of that house, plus, of course, that's, you know, that's actually, that entryway is actually, I would say, on the state, but you talked to him about it.
I called,
Looks like it needs to be raised up to keep it out on the road.
I called Laporte and I said, hey, I got to drive between 255 and 271 that they share a driveway. We're putting in the sidewalk and it needs a wedge of asphalt coming back to you. And I said, it's on you, so if I fix it, somebody hits it, then, you know, I don't want to do that. So they said they would send a guy down and give me and Jerry a call when they did it. I gave them my number and Jerry's number.
That's what they're waiting on for that small section?
I don't know if that's what he's waiting on or not.
I think kind of sort of, because if they don't do the wedge of asphalt, they got to go a different way with the concrete.
Well, kind of raise it up a little higher. We found that broken tile is what it was that was underneath there. I'm suspicion that maybe when they pulled the tree out or cut the tree down, then they pulled the roots out. People told me that they'd raise that sidewalk up where that tile was at and pulled the roots up and part of the root ball up out from underneath that sidewalk and just set it back down. And then, of course, that sidewalk kind of settled like this right there. That's the reason there's that low spot there. And, of course, there was 5-inch tile there, had a hole in it. Well, just collapsed right there. We replaced it. Of course, the far side, it looks like a downspout drain, but it was running straight down that sidewalk to the west, headed west, like that, over, like it's going right in the top of that archway is what it looks to me like. So, well, we got it fixed and covered it up, filled it up with pea gravel.
We've went and applied for the second round, the next round of the community crossing grant has been submitted. Bid packages are mailed. Storm sewer grant letter of intent submitted. Guidelines needed on when and what sticks are to be picked up by employees. Did you guys read that email? What,
You all got my letter on, I had talked to Doretta about what they do at Flora.
Yeah, what we want to know is just what you guys want us to do. We took it on ourselves, started picking brush up after the storm, but they kind of take advantage of you. A lot of people pick stuff up and they'll haul it back, and then there's other people they'll cut part of a tree down, they'll throw it out by the road. You'll go along, you'll pick it up, and as soon as you get picked up, they throw more out. What do you do? I mean, where's your stop and start at? I mean, you know, we tell them on the leaf pickup, grass pickup, I mean, after the leaf vac's been put up, if you get more leaves out there, you put it in a bag, we don't have a problem coming by and just throwing it in the truck. Let us know, because you don't know sometimes whether it's trash or what it is.
And like if somebody goes through their.
Try to do it once a month at least, but,
And have a
and that's
little
still
bundle
kind
of
of,
sticks, I don't have a problem with that. But my lord, down there on Water Street, you know,
they've been throwing stuff out for months.
Yeah.
Of course, I know they're trying to clean the place up too.
well, I know, but still, haul it off.
But what do you do? I mean, you guys tell us what you want, because you know, they told us to kind of, our personnel policy said to pick up just after storm and, you know,
That's what I do.
but,
What I
And
think we
what
could
do you-
do, if you want to, is amend the ordinance to put something in there about it, but I'm sitting there thinking, how are you gonna do it? How are you gonna decide?
Yeah, how do you
Big
decide?
so that's what I'm saying.
Well,
Right.
one ordinance said a 4x4
Yeah.
pile,
Yeah.
but I mean, they, like he said, they could put a 4x4 pile out, then tomorrow bring another 4x4 pile out.
But, what's her name, Loretta?
You know,
Yeah,
Loretta said they never had a policy because they didn't wanna get it started.
mhm.
And this way they don't have nothing if they.
But they still pick brush up.
Yeah, but if they, at their leisure,
Yeah.
is what she
So-
more or less told us.
So what happens if there's
Yeah,
a
if she
pile of
said-
brush out there and you don't pick it up, it just lays there forever, is what you're
Yeah,
saying?
and well, it probably would. I mean, we have been picking it up. I mean, you know, of course, you can't do it every day, but sometimes they'll throw stuff out there, and then tomorrow there's another pile out there. One afternoon, Dan went around and picked stuff up, and he hauled 4 or 5 truckloads away, dump truckloads away from one property.
Oh,
And of course,
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
then, and this wasn't from storm damage, then, it was less than 2 days later, there was 2 or 3 other truckloads out there.
Yeah, see, I have a problem with
And that was on Water Street.
And I
I
think,
mean, just
I
that
think
one
in a
property.
case
And I
like
know what
that,
they're doing, they don't know, nobody's ever told them any
that's when
different.
we get,
You know, I mean, what do you want us to do?
that's when the
That's
double
what I'm
marshal
saying.
would go
I
over
mean,
and say, hey.
Like I said, I think we need to pick it up, but
I think that
there's a,
picking it up after the storms is perfectly fine, but if you see an issue like that, like Andy said, I think
Where
you
they're
can hold
cutting.
the marshal and
Where
let him
they're-
know.
yeah, where they're
And maybe he
cutting
goes up
stuff.
and informs them, you know, that's, yes, sir.
I mean, I don't have a problem stopping
Make
beating
a
on the doors,
recommendation,
that's
put it
what.
out on the website or something like that. You
Yeah.
only pick up the day after the storm, after that, all brush is on you.
Well, yeah, but if we don't
The
get the day
problem
after the
is, you get
storm,
busy
because
doing
we're
other
picking
stuff
up
you gotta do
everything.
every day.
Yeah.
So I don't want to necessarily just
Yeah.
right after the storm, I mean, you can kind of tell if it's storm damage, whether it's been chopped up stuff, I mean, and I don't have a problem picking up a little bit. I mean, if it's somebody's got stuff, because everybody doesn't have pickup and truck and stuff like that to haul it away. You know, but
Let's just kind
You guys-
of use your better judgment, and if it gets to being a problem,
sometimes I don't have good
if
judgment.
you go get the marshal.
If you get to where there's dump truck loads,
Uh-huh.
multiple,
Just-
get a hold of
just,
Jason.
You know, well,
I know that property, they just moved in, they don't know.
I know, I mean, I don't have a problem walking up, beating on the door and telling them myself. I mean, you know, I can be nice about it. I mean,
Well-
I'm just, hey, that's not really our policy to
That's
do
like
that.
back here in the edging place, I walked up to them and I said, hey, I see you're cutting your trees down and carrying them back here to brush pile. And he goes, yeah, they said we could burn it a little bit at a time. And I said, well, why don't you just load it, they had 4 Chevy pickup trucks. I said, why don't you just load it up on one of these Chevy pickup trucks, take it down the sewer pond. He goes, where's that? So I told him, and
Yeah, some people don't realize
he
it.
took every bit of it down there. He's new in town.
I wanna ask, do any of these piles interfere with people driving?
That's another problem. See, they think if you'll pick it up a little quicker if they throw it out on the road.
Like in James Street, that's.
Yeah, there's a lot of places that do that, you know.
You could charge for it. You know,
Yeah,
City
that-
of Delphi has,
Well, that when they're creating the traffic
Yeah,
hazard.
well,
Well,
The
I
city
think
of
you can
Delphi.
make it a nuisance, but I don't know how to phrase it.
just use our common sense. If you
At that
get,
point there, we've already, they've got the state statute by putting that in the roadway, they're creating a traffic hazard.
Last year we bought yellow paint, can you
Mhm.
guys paint the rest of the curbs, I mean, I know it's hot now, but.
It's been a little wet.
Well, I understand, I'm just
when
saying.
the
Yes,
summer,
sir.
when the summer
Get
heat's
that
coming,
waterproof paint, Jerry.
That waterproof?
Yeah,
The
it
fast
was running
run?
down
It's
the
all
curb
fast
this
run.
steep the other day there in front of my house.
I'm serious. But
Okay.
Just not working into the schedule as fall comes around or something.
Do we need any more paint, Jerry? We doing okay?
I think we'll be all right for right now.
We got to.
Okay.
I can order some if I have.
Marshal's report,
Oh, before you go on, can I get a summary then on what you want Jerry to do as far as?
just as he's doing it, and if something happens and
It's his
it becomes a
judgment.
problem, it's his judgment. Then he calls
the
the
marshal.
marshal and then we take care of it like that. Cause if we do the, we'll pick him up the day after the
It's
storm.
not-
Well,
it's-
2 trees are blowed down and Jerry's cleaning up.
It's hard to set a specific time, we just use his judgment, he
Yeah.
knows.
That'll stop it.
Okay, marshal's report,
On the marshal's report, working 2 burglaries, 1 theft, there's been 3 cases of actual identity theft here in town.
Of what?
Identity
Identity.
theft. Basically, somewhere along the way, someone's got a hold of name, in one case, they're even using a maiden name. along with dates of birth and social security number. And they've actually opened up credit cards in their accounts. So, checking with the county, there's been a few other reports throughout the county, but right now, we kind of seem to be taking the brunt of it. So I'm not sure how that's all tying in just yet.
They're actually spending money here in town, you know, or using the cards?
No, unfortunately, they're just using the names from here. They're not actually spending it locally.
There ain't no place to spend it here.
Yeah, I'll take a card, Pizza King.
Well, now maybe down here on the corner, maybe, I don't know. Okay, Pat?
Okay,
Was
we
that
need to
all?
set a date.
Well, no.
He's not done.
Yeah, I was looking for an update. Where we at on the SOP manual?
I did my part.
I think we're good.
Okay, so was there any changes that you guys needed to make?
I
I'm sure you guys found some typos.
showed you the things I found the day I read it, but that's mine,
been
4
months
hours.
since I
For
read
4 hours I read it, I showed you what I found.
Did you guys, as you found them, did you annotate them on the pages or anything?
I used the post-it thing, arrow thing.
Okay. So I get those
Sticky
updated,
notes.
then I'll bring them around for signatures.
Okay.
Now, in addition, where are we at on the reserve ordeal? Because our reserve is starting to pre-base.
Where are we?
And by doing it this way here is no cost to the town, reference training.
We were given this today. It has to do with took effect July 1st, right? That if a reserve gets hurt on duty, he can collect minimum wage for 40 hours a week for 260 weeks. So we're just checking to see how that's gonna affect us. If the town pays that, if we have to get insurance to cover that.
Yeah, I believe is that what, 515, I think is that, Bill?
House Bill
1555.
1555.
Close.
And then they got another one where if he gets hurt on duty, he gets $225,000.
That's from the state.
That's from the state, that's
Yeah.
not on us.
Yeah, I know.
But local does, but, yeah, that doesn't affect us locally though. But we have to see how that's gonna affect us, we gotta decide.
If we're gonna have to get more workman's comp or what, you know.
Right.
Have you heard much chatter in the other local law enforcements about the reserve program and that whole thing?
Hasn't even been a hiccup, not even at the county. I mean, as tight watch as they are. I mean, no hiccups, no changes. They actually still bring them on as fast as they can find them.
We just gotta find out and make sure that's not gonna affect us, that's the only thing I see left. I mean, is that all you see that's left, other than just the one
Who
person?
would be our workman's comp over at Brief or who's got a workman's comp? Let me call him, I'll call Brief Monday and see what's up and then we'll go.
We gotta find out where it lands. If
Well,
it
not
gets hurt.
Monday, I'll do it Thursday.
I think that's the only thing left,
Yep.
as far as I
Okay.
know anyway.
And we got, going through with the sheriff's department, we got the piggyback there, so it kinda already started. But going that route, the training, his initial training was free of charge.
Sweet.
Okay, we need to set a date for July to work on the 2018 budget.
Were you done? Any stops?
You done?
Stops?
Only 4 stops.
Done.
Been a busy month.
Copy that.
When do you wanna work on the budget, guys? What day is work best for you guys?
I'm home to the 22nd.
Okay.
I'm gone all next week,
You're going on next week?
That shoots that in the foot.
25th anniversary.
We'll accept that. I'll be back on call after that, so.
What, 14 too early?
I'll be back, I mean, the 27th or 20, I don't wanna do it on Friday, but the 27th I can do it. Because Chrissy has to be back to work the 27th, so I'll be home.
Next week's the 20th. Which week are you gonna be gone?
Cause Brent's going out, Brent's not,
Wait,
you're here,
you said you're gonna be gone next week.
Yeah.
The 27th in 2
and
weeks.
then the next week Brent ain't
I
gonna
mean, the 20th I could do it.
You can do it the 20th? Okay.
That's Thursday. She's gonna be back to work on Thursday.
What?
Your library.
Oh, that's right.
When do you go back to work, Frank?
22nd.
Second.
19th? What's the 19th?
He's gonna be out of town.
She'll be in Ohio.
His anniversary.
We don't wanna do Friday.
Do you still have Wednesdays on?
No, just this one.
Well, just this one,
No,
the next one.
But,
Oh, yeah, for the next.
We have to.
Yeah.
so we can do it the
Well,
26th.
A workshop, we can just,
No.
we'll have to give notice.
No.
No, I only need
He's-
second notice day.
He,
Oh.
the Wednesday, I think, of August is when Brown
Yes,
will
it
be
is
here
a
this
meeting.
thing.
So we can't do it tomorrow night.
Just pick a day.
Well, do you
That's all
wanna
you can
do you wanna do it before the next council meeting on August 9th? You wanna just do it all at one
I
night?
mean, we're in the same boat, and he doesn't know if he'll be here, because.
No, he
That's
will
second
August
Wednesday.
9th, that's our meeting.
We can do it that night.
You could do it beforehand, I don't think you want to sit through a meeting and do it, but
No.
you could do it beforehand.
What time can you get here, Sean? 8, 6?
What?
What time can you get here Wednesday night, the 9th?
I can get off at 4:30, 4 or 4:30.
I don't give us much time. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's 5:30.
That don't give us much
Gives
time.
us an hour and a half to get the budget.
I don't know about that.
How about
Let's just pick a day.
how about if me and Brent come in on the 9th, and then when Mark gets in, he can come in and give us a, that be okay?
Sure, we're
Can
gonna
we
go
do
down.
that? That okay, Sean?
You what?
On the 9th, me and Brent will get started at say 3:30 or something, we'll go through, and then when you come, then we can, if we got any questions and we're not sure of, we bounce them off you. That work?
We should change the library for you.
Well, I can't, I've changed it, I've changed it to get you guys here on Wednesday. I've changed my library board meeting to get, and the hospital, I got one nurse works at the hospital, she's just now finally
Still
getting,
teasing me.
still finally getting here.
Okay.
Okay, the
Why don't I
9th.
send you guys out some emails and you give me some emails
Yeah,
back?
send the 3 of us emails and see the response.
What I need to, what I'd really like to see is just how we're on the funds, what we're doing, how strong we are, what the health of the fund, each different fund, where we're at, what we think the impact's gonna be.
Yeah,
Especially for the
you
street
start with your
project.
fund report, and see where we are as far as what we have on hand. And then you've got an appropriation report, and that would tell you how much we've spent, and the one you have is the first half of the year. So it's kind of safe to kind of double that, and that's probably what we've spent.
That's just an unwritten rule, we use it, so.
It's a
Use the
simplified version of
Yeah.
things, yeah. There will of course be variations.
Yeah, I know.
You've worked with budgets, you know.
How are we coming on the doctor's office?
The plumbing's all in, the plumbing for the 3 things are in. I had Toby come over and he shot me a price of $551 to enclose it. And then the hospital came back and said, after we took a bite of the apple, and, I ain't asked him about this yet, which I ain't going to, but, they went in half on the 3,500. Well, the guy that put the, over on the thing, talked to the nurse practitioner, Linda, and said, if you want to, I can put a vanity over in the
Wow.
lab, since I know where I can tie in now. And he said $1,500. And I called, what's his name, Brummett? Dave Brummett. He's the guy that we talked to.
Williamsport Hospital?
He said, go for it.
And they're paying that?
And he'll pay all of it. So we're gonna have, let's see, $3,500, which is $1,725.
1750.
$1,750. And then, I don't know what we're gonna do about this, whether,
Well, that's part of your getting that new plumbing in, right?
yes, this
So
is.
that I think would be split
They should
also.
split that
Split this
too.
too. Well, I was
I
just
would think.
thinking, throw it all their way.
Well, if they'll pay for it
Yeah,
all.
well, that's what I'm getting at. They told us $5,000.
Yeah.
And right now, they're at 17, they're
Throw
at
it that way.
1,750, 1,500. So that gives you
4250.
4,250.
3350.
3250, and then 500, another grand probably.
Now, throw it out and see what they
I'll do
say.
it. I'll throw it.
What's the worst they're gonna say?
So our share would be 1750.
Yeah. Yeah, as of right now,
That's pretty
unless they shoot.
That's really good.
Can we have a motion to okay this bill from Toby to get him paid for the first, so he can get started on the first section? Again,
What was he doing, just enclosing?
enclosing the pipes that are exposed into the, exam rooms.
Putting trimmer on the,
Yeah.
boxing them in is what he's doing.
And putting a piece of, we're finally gonna put a piece of drywall on the ceiling, cause,
In the bathroom.
yeah, in the bathroom. So,
I'll make a motion to approve the estimate to do the carpentry work on the medical center.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, next thing I have is, back in, I think it's probably about 2007, we had the employee manual done. It hasn't really been updated since that. I contacted the company that did it. They would update it for us, and I believe it came in at $4,000. I think it needs to be done, but not pressing. But I did want to present that I did check into it.
Oh, here we go.
okay, no change on the employee manual. Updates
Oh, okay,
To
to the,
internal control manual.
every year, we are to look at our internal control manual and do any updates that we think needs to be done. I did do some updates to it, and you all have copies of them. The biggest update was in how we will be handling, how we handle grants. So it's just more information put in on internal controls. And we need to be doing that every year, so we have given that its yearly review. Did you have any questions on what I emailed you as far as the updates on it?
For
And maybe
the-
internal
No.
controls? Internal controls?
Good. Okay, reinstate storm sewer fee prior to next grant application. Need to, before September 1st, contact an on-ball for assistance.
Okay, and you have that in front of you. Last time, on the grant that we did not receive, we had worked out a way that we were going to do the $3.50 stormwater fee, and with the goal of not impacting the customers, so that their fees would not be increased. Ken suggested contacting UMBAR, which is what I've done. And UMBAR has done this for 2 other communities, which I've let you guys know about. They would do it for us, and what they would do is adjust the sewer fees to allow for the stormwater fees. And then we will have a stormwater fund and a sewer fund. But it will not affect the customer fees.
And that's just to show them the maintenance process that
Yes.
they need for the grant, right?
Right, and we have, if you guys are gonna apply for this grant, we've gotta have a fee, or they're not gonna fund it.
Right.
And for some reason we don't get the grant, we can dissolve it.
Yeah.
The ordinance.
That is an option, but if you're going to keep looking at stormwater grants,
If you're not, if you're not asking people for money, you're just taking it from one place to another.
I would suggest, even if you don't get the grant, if you think you're going to be applying again and you wanna keep working at this project, I think you need to get the fee set, enacted, and have it in place.
Where do we stand with the county council's commitment to give us 19 grand?
Me and Ken went to the drainage board last Monday, and, Shockley was there, and me and, Ken was telling, we're gonna take over Water Street, redo it up here, and then bring a pipe down here and, tap it off so we ain't creating anything down over the hill. And then, according to Ken, we're gonna go back behind the doctor's office and that way, and then dump it out on the other side of the Methodist church, instead of going down in front of the cemetery and tearing all that out that we done before. It'd be
When you say dump it out, what do you mean?
just run it out to the head wall and let it go into the creek, stormwater. Ken said he'd go down there and put a head wall in, so, it'd have a.
And what did Shockley say about the 19 grand?
We asked, and the attorney said, well, we'd have to get a in-house, what do you call it? Huh?
They might mutual agreement.
Yeah, mutual agreement. We had to get a mutual agreement, so the commissioner's attorney's supposed to be drawing something up, and then we're gonna have Ann look at it, and then we'll go from there. But the commissioners told me that it's already budgeted, the 19 grand's already budgeted, and if they can get it passed before the end of the year, we're good to go.
And the timeline on this grant starts when?
October,
September 1st.
yeah, September goes to October.
And they'll know our award,
Yeah.
they award in October or?
Yes, right?
The award in October. It's due in September, the award in October.
I'll make a motion to have Umball redo our fee for stormwater.
I'll second it.
And your signature. The agreement is all standard, there's nothing, no language in it that's anything other than basic.
Which,
Right here.
here,
Um,
here.
Yeah, right there. Okay, I'll go ahead because I've got the resolutions too.
Okay.
2017C is a transfer of funds. This is taking money from general and Lloyd special distribution over to be our local match for the streets that we've done. And it was advertised, we need to transfer a total of $42,319.50.
I'll make a motion, we transfer the money.
I'll second that.
And that, we'll get that finished up. Okay, and because we have this grant, we have a fund. And we have to have any funds that we expend in that fund approved, so we have done an additional appropriation. It's been advertised in the paper and the notices have been posted. The additional appropriation is $83,110. And that's the grant money and the local match for the streets.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Make a motion.
I'll second it.
Gotta spend it.
Gotta have the authority to spend it. So we
Well,
have the money, now we have to
yeah.
have the authority to spend it. And it is a fund that they just review. It's not, they don't give an approval, they just review it.
Got anything?
And you've gone over Toby Shock, so I'm
No?
done.
Okay. Ever.
I just wanted to bring you guys an update from the Area Plan Commission. I'm on the BZA, but they're in the process of adopting the Unified Development Ordinance, UDO. And what it is they're taking all of the separate ordinances for zoning and combining them into a single document. A lot of good things have been done, a lot of things, minor corrections concerning changes the state has made for as like regulations, for instance, the confined animal feedlot operation in our present zoning ordinance references a section of Indiana code that's been repealed about 10 years ago. So they're bringing in the new section of code and stuff. The big one is the flood hazard ordinances, and it's all boilerplate provided by the state that you have to comply with no matter what if you're going to keep the improved or the reduced flood insurance rates. In other words, if the county decides not to follow the state requirements, then we automatically, as I understand it, drop out of the federal government flood insurance program, and then everybody's flood insurance goes up dramatically. Big things on this is if a house or whatever is damaged due to flood, it's required to be evaluated by the county, and then the amount of damage determined, and that goes on to your flood insurance, and then after it reaches a certain level, then you either have to move, the value of the structure, then you either have to raise the structure or demolish it, you have no other choice. So that's what a lot of people run into down along the river.
Yeah.
You buy a house, you get 3-4 flood insurance claims, and then next thing you know, you get this notice that says you either got to raise it up or demo it. Yeah, it's a big eye opener.
Yeah.
It kind of got put on a little bit on the back burner because I brought up a question about how the city of Delphi handles their building permits in flood hazard areas. And the area plan commission started looking at it and they go, man, I think it's all screwed up. We need to get it corrected from the city before we go on. So it got put back a little bit. Commissioners are gonna have a hearing on that coming up, and I don't remember the date off the top of my head. But, everything seems pretty simple and straightforward, except, Jeff Watson brought up some issues with, planned developments, and, the consultant that, redid the ordinances. The state says you have to put in all the streets, sewers, sidewalks, water, everything prior to issuing any building permits in a subdivision. And Jeff was bringing up contention that really doesn't make sense because you go in and you put in the streets, the sidewalk, the sewer, etc. Then the cement trucks drive over the sidewalks and the curbs and destroy them.
Right.
And crush the sewers because, it hasn't settled properly, the streets, yet they don't have time to settle after the sewers and stuff are put in. So supposedly they say the state mandates it must be done that way, but nobody seems to be able to find it in any of the state regulations. So that's going to be a point of contention on it, But there's a lot of good things in there, and after the Unified Development Ordinance, gets finalized and adopted, which it will eventually, no matter what, then they're going to look at revising certain items in the zoning rules. And one of the ones that has had a lot of interest from individuals in the community is the confined animal feedlot. Specifically the setback requirement of 800 feet that's been pretty much the setback for many, many, many years. When hog barns were maybe 500 or 1,000 head, and now we're looking at 4,000 minimum to 16,000 head at a given location. Now, Al Heber has put together a program with Purdue University. He's worked on it for the past 20 years that predicts, setback distance to give you anywhere from 91 to 96% over 3. And that's something the county really ought to take a long, hard look at, incorporating that into the ordinance, at Purdue University and EPA and the ag and livestock production organizations have all spent a lot of money developing it. It's been rolled over to the EPA for about the past 10 to 15 years, and they've been massaging it, trying to interpret the data and determine what the federal government's going to do for regulations, and it's been languishing because of their inability to analyze some extremely complex data. So that's kind of the update of what's going on with the area plan and BZA.
Keep us posted.
We'll do. Try
Anybody
to keep
else?
it short and sweet.
Everybody else?
Well, you talked about a meeting Friday, I haven't heard anything on it.
Yeah, I haven't heard- I was gonna say
it's
that
just,
yet.
I ain't heard nothing either. I mean, they told me Wednesday at 1, I was sitting at the store at 1, about 1:16, getting ready to wander over this way, and Pat called me and said, been canceled, maybe Friday.
The notices are up in case it does happen, but I don't.
For what time?
1:30.
Friday.
We just put them up to be on the safe side.
So, tomorrow's Thursday.
Tomorrow's
Yeah.
Thursday.
But that's what I said, they told us maybe Friday, well, we gotta get the
My
ball.
question is, why don't we set the time and date and they come talk to us?
There you go.
When we do it in the evening, tell them to come and talk to us. Why did they cancel the other day?
And why did they make it at such a horrible time of the day?
They're not building a lot of confidence in
Well,
me.
that we're working not just with our schedules, but theirs and also,
They need to talk to us in a business meeting. We set the time and date and they come talk to us.
They need us, we don't need them.
I don't like this, I don't like the way they're operating. Cancel a meeting, get a call at 15 minutes and say it's canceled. If I'd taken off work and come to that meeting and they canceled like that, that's bull. And If they wanna do business with us, we set the time and date and tell them when to be here, and expect them to be here. I mean, that's my message I want you to send to them. I mean, I want it in the evening so everyone can be here.
Right, I mean, there's so many, it's gonna take multiple meetings. There are we have to know their mins, their maxes.
Well, and see, that's where
what
we're
kind
at.
of
They
wastewater.
don't
Can I
know.
say something at this point?
Yeah,
Yes,
They don't know,
Yeah.
they don't have that kind of detail at this point. They may have that by the end of this month, but I think the whole issue was to try to get something started on the grant application. And I think Ken feels that with reasonably accurate estimate information, they can get that started as long as you stay on the high side. Because you don't want to wait until they get everything nailed down completely before you go after this EDA grant.
No one knows.
They gotta get that moving.
right, but I just
So-
don't wanna put my neck out there and then have them go, well, that's not what we wanted. Right, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think at this point there's gonna be any specifics to it. I think it's getting information together that's reasonably accurate enough that they can get the grant application going. And there's gonna be plenty of opportunity, I think, to fine tune that as it goes along. But that's all the only thing I've heard on it.
you gotta be on this part.
But,
You gotta be on this part.
I mean,
Well, that's why-
it's certainly to your advantage to get the EDA grant if it's
Oh,
available.
well, yeah, obviously,
So,
but I don't wanna get a grant and then have them come up with some ridiculous stuff that they're gonna send us that's gonna cause our waste treatment plant to not function to where we have to upgrade it and then go, well, that's not what
I
we
think
signed
right
up
now,
for.
the only objective right now is to get something going on the EDA grant. You get the wheel turning on that, but I think it's probably at least a month away before you're gonna have specifics as to exactly what they're asking for.
That just seems odd to
Well,
apply for a
but
grant
here
till
we
we know.
go, here we go again, Pete, why couldn't, if we just wanted to set a goal, why couldn't we done it Wednesday? You know, I mean, what was, you know, all we're gonna do is take a dart and throw it and go high, and then they don't show up. So then, you know, they
No,
want the
yeah.
grant, they want the grant, they want the grant, no, we ain't got it.
Well, and what concerns me too is that, we give them an estimated rate. And they balked on that, and this has been a long time ago now. And then they found out that we had the possibility of the grant, then they became re-interested. So the question is, if the grant doesn't materialize, are they not interested in us doing the utilities?
Right,
You know, I have a whole list of questions I have for them.
I do too.
And I still want to reiterate from the last meeting that I want to get together as a board and discuss this and make sure, and I know that they don't have their engineering data, which we need. But I know that we have to get together before that meeting and come up with, you know, everything to protect the citizens of Camden
Yeah, we need to sit down as
moving
a
forward.
council and have.
We have nothing in writing, we have everything, we have Steve's word, you know, I'm just not gonna put impact, I mean, he's told me personally,
Right.
it's not his intent, and I take him for his word.
I do too.
But we need to start putting something in writing and having our lawyer look at it. And
We need our ducks in a row before, I mean,
then we gotta sign a contract with, the two agencies out in Indianapolis. So, I mean, before we spend any money, there's a lot of questions to be answered. And then I also would like to know what the timeline, you know, I mean, once we do, I mean, we gotta put a timeline together when things start clicking. So there's a lot.
There is a lot.
Once you-
Then if you need water, you're gonna have to find some place for wells, you know? Yep. And you know you're gonna have to have water.
So I
If they
agree there's
do,
gonna be a lot of meetings, as soon as you know.
Yeah, it's not gonna be a
I
one
think
day
this is
trip.
just a preliminary meeting.
Is that what it was? See, I don't even know
Yeah,
that.
it's just a preliminary meeting to get enough information to get the grant process started. That's all it is. They're not talking about the agreement that you're gonna have with them between you and Jeep and so forth. This is mainly for curbside and so forth, so they can get the grant application going. That's what I understand out of it. And
Right.
they were just
I
asking.
thought they were already moving on it. We made that motion to go ahead and proceed with it.
Kirksey's moving on,
I
but
thought so.
they don't know a number.
So we need a number from them, so I mean, that's an email basically.
Right.
I think though they just want to visit. They
Oh.
just want to have a conversation.
Well,
They're not starting off with it by not showing
I
up.
wish they would have visited. Right. Well, I'll be here Friday if they show up. I mean,
We don't
Do you
know.
Right.
want, if they meet Friday, can you call?
Yeah, I can, probably, most likely I can call in, or if I don't have other scheduled meetings, I may be able to get away. but I need time to
Yeah,
plan.
not 15, not
Yeah.
as you're driving to Camden, we've bumped it back to
You
Friday.
know, that was,
Well, yeah,
that happened, and
yeah.
that's water under the bridge, but, you know, I mean, just, I need more than a day too sometimes, you know. And nobody does business on the last minute and say, how we're gonna show up now.
Right. And I understand it's not the final meeting, and if they just wanna
No.
visit and talk rough, but I mean, we gotta start somewhere, and so far we're not started. That's
Just need to get the process started.
right. Yeah, that's
That's all you
exactly
need.
what we gotta do, and they didn't show up.
Motion adjourned.
Yeah, just let me know on that number, phone number, whatever you have and stuff. Just this, the office number, is that where you'll have your meeting or?
Yeah, yeah. You have speakerphone, right? Yeah, that's how I thought we'd probably just do it.
I can Skype if you want me to.
Oh, yeah, that's what.
There you go, guys.
Make motion adjourn.
I'll second it.
Okay. See you next month, same time, same bat channel.
Oh,
Good vacation.
hey, Andy, there's something I forgot to bring up with you guys. Once they adopt the unified development ordinance, town of Camden's gonna need to take a look at whether they wanna stay with the existing ordinance, because unless you guys vote to accept the new ordinance, you know, you're gonna be stuck with the old ordinance. That's,
We have to adopt the new ordinance when it's.
you'll have to adopt the new ordinance
Okay.
once it's passed by the county and stuff. And when you do that, you have the opportunity to adopt it with restrictions. You don't have to adopt the entire ordinance as it stands. You can modify it any way that you want as it applies to the town of Camden, within reason. You can't modify the flood
Flood
stuff.
stuff, yeah,
Yeah,
right.
the flood stuff, the wind energy and
I'll
stuff
be
like
back
that, but you
on the
know,
30th, so if
certain
you
other
have
things.
Can you
anything
modify like
beginning
if you
first of
have,
August, just let me know.
modular homes, I think they dictate like the roof
Now, there was
and all that.
There was
I'm
a
gonna get out of here.
big fight
You
over
going down to see?
what's a
No,
modular home, what's a
we're going
house
to
trailer,
Start out in Sicily, and I'll
what's
go fly to
a
Atlanta,
manufactured
and then I'm
home,
gonna
you know,
follow
so.
them, so.